Haggen. Sorry for the delay with technical difficulties, but we bring to you now Haggen So. He's come from Hong Kong. He was telling me before that he was one of the founders of PyCon in Hong Kong and has been running that for 10 years, which is really exciting. And over a long career of teaching, he's brought to us today some anecdotes about his teaching career in tertiary and secondary.
Yep. Okay, so a little bit of correction. I helped out in Hong Kong the PyCon for 8 years. I came back for 2 years, and I'm already run out of time. I put too many things in my slides, and adding that I have a medical condition. So if you were one of the speakers, you saw me tilting my head on my seat because I have to, because I got a posture recommendation on me because I'm supposed to lie on the bed and tilt my head. So I'm operating in one eye, and I hope that I could get through my stack of slides. Okay, so this is not about those AI things that will mark Python program by itself. There's already too many of them. It's a general purpose Python scripts to handle Excel files. If you put your marks in your Excel file, one Excel file for each student, then this is for you. And then we will find out, we'll first talk about the steps in marking, and then I will introduce two libraries, Open PyXY and XL and XL Wings, and how you can use them to manipulate the Excel files, and some of the implication while it's better to use Python to handle the logics and then keep the data in Excel. So I would recommend you to look at the code because I got no time to go through all the code together. I'm going to go 30 minutes. And so please go to my GitHub and find the code. Okay, so anyone like marking assignments? Really? It's tiring, it's not interesting, and sometimes the school got crazy schedules, and then it's deadline fighting, and so I want to automate all the mundane work, okay? And also, by saving time, I could, improve my Python skills because I really got no time to do programming. I would like to do more programming. So the worst case I got a Word document on the marking template, and my course coordinator expect us to print out through the printer manually with physical papers. We filled in by pen each student's name, student number manually, and then mark it, and then use a calculator manually, find the total score, put it in, and then manually put all the totals back in an Excel and upload it to the learning management, course management system, okay? So that's the steps. So what to do first, I don't want to fill in the student names and student number and what their class into a paper. So I convert manually that Word document into Excel so that I can use Python to change the content inside the Excel file so that it will be exactly correct with the student name and student number and so on. So the first library is Open PyXL. So it is a very fast library. It will just fill in a lot of the details. So this is extremely simplified mark sheet that, if you've done marking, you probably know what that is. What you got definitely will be much more complex than that, but I hope you will understand, if you ever mark things using a mark sheet, then you will know what that is, okay? So what I'm going to do is we got a template like that, and then we'll read in the template and fill in student detail one by one, and each student will have one Excel file. And this is how to open the template, and the data only parameters is important because inside a template there is a total calculation. So if data only is equal to true, it will neglect that formula, as that's no good, so we need to do data only equal to false, and then we choose, so for every Excel file open, it will treat as a workbook object, and in each workbook there will be several worksheets, and so we choose, in the workbook object, we choose the active worksheet. Okay, so that's the second line, and then, well, assume we got all the student detail inside the row variable is actually pandas data frame, okay, object, and then it got all the student details, and we loop through that row, and then we put it into different cells of the Excel file, and then we save that Excel file with the student name first, and student ID first, and then student name, and the assignment short name, okay? And this is, just to let you know how to the decoration and the loop that we are going to put all the code that I already mentioned. Okay, and that is the result. And then that is the student data in a CSV format. Okay, and so the result is a list of files within the same directory of the Python program. It starts with the student number, and then student name, and then the short name of the assignment, and then the student details all filled into the mark sheet. Okay, and then I think when you start marking, you basically have a concept of what the student would like to put in, but our students are, ever imaginative, and then sometimes say, oh, actually, it's not wrong, it's not we expecting, and so you start with quite harsh when you start marking the first paper, and then you get less and less harsh, okay, and then you tend to go back and mark again, but you don't need to do that, okay, because you could be harsh from the beginning to the end, and you got a table that if you mark the student as 1, you can use the Python library to pump it to 2. Okay? So it's a bit unfair for some students who got 5, but sometimes you want to adjust that. And so what you do is you can change the marks in bulk inside all the mark sheets, okay, all the Excel files, but the open PyXL cannot do it because it cannot evaluate formulas, because when you think about Excel formulas, they can be very simple, just adding 2 numbers, but it can be very complex. So we need another library. It's called Excel Wings. It will remotely open the Excel application and remotely control it, and you can send data to it to change different cells, okay, the value, and it will automatically recalculate. Okay, so this is the syntax, so it's just a change in syntax. So rather than low workbook, now it's just the book, and then you got the file name. Since it actually automatically open an Excel application, you need the handle of or pointer to the application, so that's the second line. And then the rest is self-explanatory because I've got no time. So the middle 2 lines is just read from the cell and go through the dictionary. So 1 will become 2, 2 will become 3, and then put it back into the cell. And then you save it, and then if you don't quit the application after you run it in a loop, you got like 20 Excel application running, so you better quit the application. Okay, and so this is original mark sheet, and then, I better point out the change is in the grammar and report formatting, and then the marks will become 2, okay, and it's no matter you got 2 Excel files or 100 Excel files, it will be done automatically. Okay, and then after you have all those files, you want to collect all the marks from all those files. So it is in the mark collector.py. Sorry, I ran out of time. I won't go through each line with you. But if you go to my GitHub, it's there. And then some colleague of mine invent this method. They use the conditional formatting in Excel because in this case, you're not supposed to give mark more than 5 for grammar or 5 more than 5 for report formatting. So if you've gone above that, it will be red. But sometimes when marking so many things gone through your mind, your course coordinator might give you verbal like instruction, and then you sometimes even if it's in red, you've forgotten. So what you do in the collector program, you put some checking logic before. So if it's like more than the maximum score, it will give you an error message, and then it will not collect the marks for you. So you must pass, like a compiler, you must pass all the conditions, and then the program will collect, will produce an Excel or CSV files for all the marks for your students. And then after that, Excel is well known that it's very easy to change. So after marking, you don't want anything to be changed, okay? And so you convert all your Excel files into PDF, and this is the script for you, okay? And then just a summary, the OpenPY Excel reads data very fast. It can change cells. That doesn't involve calculation, but if you want marks to be changed, some recalculation involved, use Excel wings. Okay. Ooh. Okay, so now you got this superpower to change every mark sheet that in the directory. So please make many copies at each step. Otherwise, if you wrote the wrong program, you might be marking for 2 days, things will be gone, okay? So don't do it. Link your directory with some cloud, OneDrive, Google Drive, whatever that is, and so that you can go back, okay? So backup, copy. Okay, so how much time? Okay, so why I rush through? Because actually, why do we need Python? We could have done it using Excel formulas and macro, or more specifically, Visual Basic for applications. It's very important that we have all the logic outside of Excel. So if we have formulas, we have macro, all the programming is inside Excel. So if you pick out Excel file like 2 years ago, I improved the logic inside. So what version was it? Like, does it got this function or that function? It's very hard to maintain. If we got a Python script, then we can use JIT or other version methods. And then, and for example, this is how Microsoft let you use Python in Excel. And I think usually you need something like 10 lines of Python to get anything useful, and it's all in one cell. How could we really maintain that, okay? And I just also mentioned about the conditional formatting. It is, again, you need to open another window inside Excel in order to do it. So if you mark accordingly, nothing goes red, you will never know that's conditional formatting. So if you have all the logic in your Python program, it's very clear. And then it comes to the last point. I underrun it, is it? Good. Okay, so the last one is about cybersecurity. Okay, so we have the Australian Signal Directorate. So it's a statutory agency for intelligence and security. And you might say, why is it related? Okay, so they thought of this essential aid scheme. So they want different companies and organizations to keep themselves safe and against cybersecurity threats. So they put together only 8 points. Okay, if they give you a big list, of course, nobody going to follow that. So what are the 8 points? So some usual things: patch your application, patch your operating system, and then multi-factor authentication. And out of all those 8 points, there's one thing: restrict Microsoft Office macros. Okay, so they are very kind. They're not saying not to use Microsoft macros or Visual Basic for application because they are aware some organizations are still using it. But I think one of the bad things is if you haven't started, don't use it. Use Python, using those, especially Excel wings. It could do most of the things that you need to implement using macros, okay? And then, and the reason why I think why it caused a possible cybersecurity threat is that when people open Word file or Excel file, that they expect data, okay? But actually, the macro is powerful enough to run a program that could contact an external website and download some script and execute that script. And then, like all the security in between, like firewall, whatever, then it's all broken because they got that malicious script from outside into your computer, and so this is not too good. Okay, that's both good and not good. Because I record myself, and that was 27 minutes, but I now underrun. I think I'm on. Really? Okay. So conclusion. This is my experience. I use those scripts. The scripts on the website is improved, but I use some like preliminary scripts from the script on the website to really automate my marking, and then I find out those two libraries, the OpenPyXL and the Excel wings, and they are very nice to use. And the importance of separating logic and data is easier to maintain, and then it helps you to get away from cybersecurity risk. And future work. One thing is, all that is just very simple function that we need in a spreadsheet. So you doesn't need to use Excel. So the next future work is I would like to automate LibreOffice Calc, so we did not need to buy any license from Microsoft. Sorry, Bernard. So I'm asking people to save money, and these are my contact if you want to know more. Okay, yep, that's all. So we have some time for questions, is it?
Yes, absolutely. Does anyone have any questions for Haggen?
That's a round of applause.
Round of applause.
Thank you.
Yes.
So how much time do you think you have saved, or maybe not at all because you're spending too much time having fun with this?
I must say I don't know, but I must say that when I developed the script, I think I used too much time, but it's just that semester. Afterwards, it's really great. One thing I haven't mentioned is like when you produce that Excel template file, sometimes you got it wrong in the calculation formulas, because the calculation formula I got is very simple. Sometimes you got like all kind of even condition inside that. And you already distributed, like you got tens of them. But you can also use this method to correct them. Yeah, so I got something wrong and I correct all of them. So it all pays out at the end after a few semesters. Yep, but I don't have a number on it. Yep.
Wonderful. Oh, we've got another question. Okay, hang on. Come down.
Cool. Thank you for your talk. I was wondering if you've had any luck getting other teachers at your place of work. Like, was there any buy-in to this sort of thing that they're like interested in using it, or?
Actually, I'm expecting this video to be free online, and I will get my former colleagues to watch it. So we were too busy. Yeah, I will get my former colleague to watch it.
So if you're watching this in the future, get in touch so that you know let us all know that you're using this. Yeah.
Yep.
Any teachers.
Yep.
Wonderful. Let's give. Oh, have you got another question? Yeah, absolutely. We've got time.
Oh, good.
Great talk. My question is, you mentioned adjusting the scores if you were too harsh. How did you determine whether you were too harsh? Was that done on the overall assessment, or was that question by question, or how did you do that?
Well, there are several possibilities. After I gone through the first marking, I will use the collector to collect all the score and look at the distribution, and then as I mentioned to start with, sometimes the harshness sort of come down when you gradually mark all the papers, and yeah. So, well, I have to say one thing I left this profession is sometimes you got pressure from your supervisor, okay, to change the marks, okay. Yep. So I'm a bit honest. Sorry.
All right, let's give Haggen another big round of applause to thank him.
Yeah.